So let's do a quick video looking at the TPLink Omada system. This is the software defined network. We are using the Windows software to run this. So it has a set of services, a software you install, sets up its web server on your PC, and you can access it through the browser. So it runs the Omada controller. It's a 500 MB download thereabout. And after setup, you're going to have this controller. It's going to walk you through, and you set up a site. A site is typically your location. So this is the name of this location. A site will contain devices controlled by the Omada controller. These devices are your access points, routers, compatible switches, and all that. Those will be your devices. Your clients are connected units like computers and phones that are connected to the Wi-Fi system. And on the network configuration, you have a lot of configurations for the internet, for the LAN, for the WLAN, for the portal. Not every device supports portal. The device we have here for this example is the Omada EAP603 outdoor. This device does not support the hotspot, and on enabling the hotspot, this device went offline and needed a reset. It was refusing to force provision and all that, so keep that in mind. Some devices will not support the portal, the hotspot features, so just have that in mind. So essentially, once you plug in the devices, as you install and set up the controller, remember there's a hardware version, OC200 or OC300, and there are other ones that combine I think it's 7206, combines the router, the controller, and all into one device. So that's what you have to understand. There are different devices. This is the software version, and we're going to have a quick look at how to set this up. So after I set up and configured, you are on this platform which I was showing earlier, and you can see adopted devices here on the devices. So these are devices that are part of the Omada network. So it's here by the MAC address. It's an IP address, but you cannot manage it using this IP address once it's been adopted. So every new Omada compatible device you add, you're going to see it listed here, and you can adopt them. And what the controller does is to write the configuration for the network onto those devices and get them ready and becoming part of the network. So if I click on this, I'm going to see information about this device, RAM usage, processor usage. I'm going to see the clients connected, information about the device, and uplink devices. That is, if it's in a mesh, what device is it connected to? Then I can see other information here, networking and hardware information. And I can manage the device. It opens a bigger screen where I can see statistics, logs. I can see a set of tools which I can use to check the network performance. And then there are configurations like the transmission power, which I've set to high here. It does have good coverage. This 603, it has good coverage. And the IP settings here, you don't want to fiddle with these, just let them be. The controller is handling everything. So as I mentioned earlier, you do not turn on the hotspot on certain devices. So I would check if there are any pages or articles by TP-Link defining or stating what devices support the hotspot. But attempting to configure this hotspot and set up vouchers rendered this device inaccessible, and I had to reset it and place it back. So for the one, you want to connect the internet to this. You generally want to use the Omada router, but here I'm not using the Omada router. I've connected straight to a ZT device. I'm going to show you that. I've connected the EAP603 directly to the LAN port of the internet device, which is a 5G device. So I have not used a router, but if I had a router, what I will do is to connect to the router via its IP address. This is in standalone mode. It's not going to be connected to the controller yet. And then once I finish that setup, I'm going to connect it to the network. The controller is going to detect it. I'm going to adopt it, and it's going to write its WAN settings into the controller so that the controller can provision other devices using that setting which I have made on the router. So the 605 supports up to 4 WANs, I believe, and once you make that configuration and you apply it here and adopt the device, it's going to update this and provision the devices on this network. So a good workflow would be to set up your router first. After configuring your internet device, right, you set up the router onto the controller and then begin to add your access points, right? So on doing that, you have a network that you can manage in a very robust and centralized way. It's an impressive system, I must tell you. A lot of stuff. If you have devices that support the hotspot, it's very robust. If you want to see a video how to set that up and provision the vouchers and set things up, I could also do one and publish that video. So if you have any questions, you can deal with them in the comments. You have any challenges? Sometimes if devices fail to adopt continuously, there might be a configuration issue and you may need to just reset the device, plug it in again, and it's going to get adopted. There is also the forced adoption, which is one of the main things here. Is a forced provision that will reprovision it and so that it can be forcefully adopted. But in the case of the corruption that happened while setting up the hotspot, that didn't help. I had to reset the hardware itself. So that's a brief on how to set up the Omada software-defined network. If you have any issues, let me know in the comments. Let's discuss and get things sorted. Thanks for watching.